Forget about goals. Focus on systems instead. It says, prevailing wisdom claims that the best way to achieve what we want in life, getting into better shape, building a successful business, relaxing more and worrying less, spending more time with friends and family, is to set specific, actionable goals. For many years, this is how I approach my habits too. Eventually, I began to realize that my results had very little to do with the goals I set and nearly everything to do with the systems I followed. What's the difference between systems and goals? Systems are about the process that lead to those results. If you're an entrepreneur, your goal might be to build $1 million business. Your system is how you test product ideas, hire employees, and run marketing campaigns. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress.
Yes. Like,
what do you think about that?
Oh, I love this. I love this. And we had, and there's probably going to be a lot of correlation to this, but Nir Ayal, we had him on the show way back. And if you haven't heard that episode,
that's a book we need to go through, by the way.
We absolutely do. We'll get a little break in between because there's a lot of carryover, I think, between a lot of these and even the next point, very much so. But one of the things is, look, you can have these goals and it's like you can want to do something, but if you don't have the system, the foundation, the framework to do it in place, and again, go back to fitness. If you don't get up and already have your workout for the day written out and you're just like, hey, I'm just going to go to the gym and I'm going to figure it out, it's a whole lot harder to be consistent with it. If I don't already have my meals prepped for the week, it's a whole lot harder to follow a good meal plan.
Right.
If you don't have your schedule for the week on, okay, hey, I've got this block to do this, I've got this block to do that, it's really hard to accomplish the goals that you want to if you're just like, hey, I'm just kind of going to go through the day and take it as it comes. If a system is not in place, it's really hard. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it's really hard. And I would argue that it is impossible to reach the potential without a system.
Right.
You may be successful, but you may not reach your potential. Right. And so if a system is not in place, it's very easy to get lost. It's literally like saying, hey, I'm going to drive to California. I'm just going to head west. Okay, well, what roads, what are you going to take? What's the fastest route? Okay, where are the stops? Okay, is this highway? Oh, you know what? This one says west. All right, so it's going to take me west, but then I go here, and then the only way I can go from there is north. I mean, it's nearly impossible if you don't have a roadmap laid out to be as efficient and reach the maximum potential that you can reach in whatever goal that is.
Yeah, the highlight of that section and the eye-catching part of the section is he's basically saying goals are irrelevant without these systems. So again, everybody's setting goals right now, and that's great. You need to have something that you're shooting for.
Yeah.
Things are much easier when you know what you're after.
Yeah.
But his whole point is if you don't have your systems in place, like you said, if I don't have a roadmap, and maybe I don't know exactly what the roadmap is.
That's right.
But you have to establish some sort of system to at least get you going in the right direction.
That's right.
This podcast is a good example. We still don't know. We have a goal in mind. We know where we want to go. We don't know exactly how we're going to get there, but we started somewhere. We started with a system which was to show up consistently.
Yeah.
And that's what we started. Now, over time, we hire the right people to help us, do the things that we don't do well, right? Over time, we figure out the systems a little bit better. But the point is, we started in a direction, we had a goal, and we set up systems along the way to reach that goal. So if you don't know all the answers today to get to that whatever that goal is of yours, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just start with what you do know. Start with that 1% step that we're talking about. Start with some sort of system because, again, the goal is great, but if you don't have any system in place to get you there, you're never going to achieve that goal.
And look, I want to acknowledge that that's the scariest part in executing a goal is figuring out that system, is creating the system. You can be paralyzed by trying to have the perfect system in place.
I've been there a million times in my life.
And so to your point, you've got to just get started. Pick something. If it's, hey, I want to pick up hunting. Okay, that's your goal. It's like I really want to pick up hunting. I want to be outside. I want to spend time with my kids, whatever it is. Okay, it's not like, okay, now I've got to be the best bow hunter up in the Arctic Circle for
elk.
Not elk. Reindeer. What's the other word for reindeer?
I have no idea. I'm not a hunter.
Bro, you've read that. We read the same book.
Reindeer?
Yeah. Anyways.
Moose?
Whatever, dude. No. We read with Donnie Vincent where he took, what's his name up? Michael Ealy.
Yeah. Michael Easter.
Easter. Yeah. Anyways, point is, I want to be a hunter. I don't have to create okay, I've got to get this bow. I've got to get this rifle. I've got to get this. I've got to get that in place. It's like, no, guess what? Hey, just go buy a cheap rifle and start shooting at the range.
Yep.
Just start.
Start
You
with
have
where you
to
are.
start.
Yeah.
Get the momentum going.
Yep. Start with the 1%.
Yep.
It doesn't mean you go out and get the most expensive rifle out there.
Right.
Start with what you have. Start
right.
with what you can.